Let's begin with the yarn that I've used to make my blanket. I've used Knit Picks Chroma fingering weight yarn, which is this one, and I've used two colors. This is Bear and this is Vermont. This is a solid yarn and this is a variegated yarn, and I've used this one, Bear, for the forward pass and this one for the return pass. And this is fingering weight, so it is very, very thin. And I actually started making the blanket originally with DK weight yarn, but I quickly realized that with the kind of detail I wanted in the design, the hexagons were turning out to be really, really large. So I had to go down to this weight. But if you are doing this for the first time, if you are working this technique in the first time, then I recommend practicing with a heavier weight yarn so you understand the technique. It's easier to understand with heavier weight yarn, and then you can come down to this one for your final hexagons. The hook that I've used for making my hexagons is a double-ended hook that I built using two hooks from my Denise interchangeable hook set. So I have this Denise to go two hook set, which comes with two hooks of each size in various sizes. I'm using a bunch of these in other projects, so that's why they're not all there. But there's, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sizes and two hooks of each size. It is okay if you do not have two hooks of each size. I also did not use two hooks of the same size for my hexagons. I picked two hooks of slightly different sizes. I picked a 5 millimeters and a 4.5 millimeters hook. So this is a 5 millimeters and a 4.5 millimeters. So these two hooks is what I used, and I joined them using a cord. So I joined them like this. And that's how I built my double-ended hook, and that's what I've used for my hexagons. And you could use this, or you could use something like a double-ended hook like this one, which is this one is a Clover Takumi hook. This is a 5 millimeters hook, and if you have something like this will also work. So you could do this or this, either one will work. And you could make this with two hooks of the same size, or if you do not have two hooks of the same size, that's fine. You could make it with two hooks of slightly different sizes. You will need you will use the larger hook for the forward pass and the smaller hook for the return pass. Now, I mentioned the hook size that I have used for my project, but you can always try different hook sizes and see which one works best for you, because that is how I pick my hook. I generally take the yarn and make swatches with two or three different sizes to see which one works the best. It really depends on your tension and how the fabric is being built based on how you crochet and what kind of yarn and hooks you're using. So just if you have the option to, or if you're using a different yarn than mine, then try to make your swatches with slightly different hook sizes to see which one you like best. And if you're going for heavier weight yarn, you'll definitely need larger hooks to make your hexagons. Aside from the hooks I mentioned earlier, I also used a 3.5 millimeters hook, which is an E-hook, to make the border of my blanket. And it's something that we will do towards the end of the cal, so I am not going to talk about it much right now. I will cover this in detail in my separate video that I'll have for the border, but just know that there will be a need to use a regular crochet hook, which is a 3.5 millimeters hook, is what I used. I picked this based on what was recommended on the yarn label. So you'd have to pick a hook based on what yarn you're using, and just make sure that the border is not, stays flat, so it's not bunched up or it's not too tight. So you just have to pick a hook that will work for the yarn that you've picked.